Hi guys, Becca here. Today is Elderberry Day. Today I'm going to show you how to make elderberry for yourself at home. And of course I'm here at my home. So let's get started. Okay, so I went through and I grabbed, I hope, all of the stuff that I need to be able to make and can my elderberry syrup. Today I'm going to be making two batches, one to show you as a, just a regular person making a few jars, and then one I make a larger batch for my business, Becca's Planet. So these are the supplies that you need. Of course, there is elderberry, and then I use cinnamon. There's some clove. There is organic lemons, and then I have ginger, local honey, and then we'll need some filtered water, so I have some right there. And then some of the supplies, a chopping board, a knife. Oh, I forgot a knife. And then you'll eventually need to use some sort of strainer, but this is the strainer that I use. A colander will work just fine. Even just using a little piece of cloth like muslin, I will be using that as well in my strainer to take out all of the little bitty stuff. And then you might need a funnel, and then of course the handy dandy measuring cup. And a crock pot. I use a crock pot because you can cook it very slowly and you won't burn it. You won't dissipate the volatile oils that you want to, and the enzymes that you want to keep for your elderberry. And then I'll be canning mine, so I'll be sealing it. So I have my canner. You can just, it's just a water bath. So for those that know about canning, this is a pressure canner, but I am just using it as a water bath. And then I already have my jars sitting in the water, ready to start heating up. And I have a whale, so I use vinegar in my water to keep the minerals off of the jar. That's a tip. Alright, and then I'll have my lids in another water bath that I haven't started yet. And then there's the tongs that you'll need. And I just like staying organized, so I've kept my my rings there. I have, there is my towel and a little pad to put my jars on as I need to go. And this is how many jars I will be canning today. So it's going to be a busy day here at Becca's Planet. Oh, and there's one more thing that you need. Your recipe. So here you go. I am sharing my recipe, and this is what I will be making for you, the regular everyday homeowner. This is the recipe that I would follow if I was just making for myself. Alright, so I'm going to start with cutting up a lemon and my ginger, and I will be back. Alright, I am back. So I have cut up my half a lemon and about the same portion of ginger, and then I have my cinnamon stick. It calls for a cinnamon stick, but that's equal to about a tablespoon of cinnamon chunks. So I have a tablespoon of cinnamon chunks, and then it is a half a teaspoon of clove. Clove tastes very potent, so a little bit goes a long way. If you don't like the taste of clove, you don't even have to add it. I just like adding it to mine. And then I have my 3/4 cup of elderberry, and then I have my 3½ cup of water. And then we will use the honey later. But we're going to take these ingredients. We're going to take the lemon, the ginger, the cinnamon, the clove, and the elderberry. Pour it into our crock pot. And then add the water. And then we will turn our crock pot on to the lowest setting you can turn it on. I use medium. And then we will cook that for a couple of hours. Alright, so I'm going to pour this all into my crock pot. Ooh, this is fun doing it one-handed. There's my clove. There's my elderberry. And of course you want to get all the elderberry goodness that's out of the bottom of the jar. Alright, and then my water. Ooh, that looks good. It smells so good in here. Okay, so we're going to take this crock pot. I'm going to try to take it one-handed. I'm going to second guess that. Okay, I'm going to set you down and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. There is my crock pot. I have it turned on my lowest setting, which is keep warm. I will put the lid on and let this cook for at least 2 hours. You do not want to let it boil. Once it gets to a boiling, it'll start killing the enzymes, and you're losing the effectiveness of the herbs. So I'll see you in a couple of hours. Alright, hi, I've made it back. It's been a couple of hours, and I'm going to try to video this without getting in the center of it. And this has been cooking. So now what we need to do is we need to strain the plant material. Let's see if I can get you inside the pot. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Alright, so we're going to strain it. And I have my handy dandy little strainer, which you can use a colander if you want. I found this at a resale shop several years ago and I really enjoyed it. But then I have my bowl, which happens to be a very large measuring cup. I'll pour this in there. And you want to get all the goodies in the straining cloth. I know it's hard to see, I can't turn it the other way. Because what we're going to be doing is we're straining it, but we're also going to squeeze it, because there's going to be a lot of good juice in all of that. So as you can see, we're getting all sorts of good juice out of that. But I'll squeeze all of this out as much as I can, and then I will rinse out my crock pot and return all this juice back to the crock pot to add the honey. Remember, we haven't done the honey yet, but I have a cup of honey sitting here waiting for us, and this is local honey that I use. You want to use local honey because it has the local allergens in it and the local pollen. So I've strained that. Actually, let's see. And then I'll pour this together. Yeah, we can see it. So I'll pour a cup of honey in there. And honey acts as a preservative as well. So this is your preservative, and it will help. But it's not like the synthetic chemical stuff that you can just leave it on the counter and it'll be okay. No, this is live Oshkosh stuff, healing stuff, so you will need to refrigerate this. So I've gotten the honey out of there, and I will mix this together. You might have to put it back in the crock pot if you do clean out the crock pot. Yeah, I'm going to end up having to put it back in the crock pot. You might be able to see that there's honey dripping off of that. All that honey needs to mix with the mixture. And you need just a little bit of heat for that. So I'm going to let you go for now. I'm going to clean my crock pot out, put my liquid back in, and stir it until all of the honey is in the liquid. And then I'll be back. I'm back. Alright, so I have cleaned out my crock pot. I have added the liquid back to the crock pot, and I have been stirring it to make sure all of my honey is joined in with the liquid. So now this is where we decide whether we're going to can it. Whether we're going to can our elderberry or just jar it. And this one, I'm going to cheat a little bit. This is just for me. And I have a family of 4, so we're going to go through this fairly quickly. We'll probably go through this within a month or a little bit more. So I'm just going to jar it and put the jar into the fridge. If you can it, it will be sealed and you could actually put it in the cabinet. But I'm going to cheat today. Okay, so the next step is we have our elderberry and we have our jars, and this is 4 cups, should take about 4 cups, which is 4 cups equals, let's see, what is it, 32 ounces. So I should have about 32 ounces of liquid here, which would take 2 of these jars. This is a 16-ounce jar. So we'll see if I can add correctly. Here we go. So I have my measuring cup, and I'm just, and these jars, even though I'm not canning it, I still want to make sure these jars are as clean as possible. So I have used vinegar on a rag and wiped them down. So these are clean jars. All right, so I will just fill up these jars. There's one. Here's my lid. And I should be able to pick this up. And I should just about, yeah. So I do have a little bit left, but that's okay. I have my other lid. And with the extra, I did clean. This is an 8-ounce jar. So if you're going to use 8-ounce jars, you would need 4 of these. So that's why I chose this one, a 16-ounce jar. 4 of these in my fridge, just kind of floating around the place. It could create an issue. At least this, it won't take up so much space. So since I have a little bit extra left, you don't want to waste it. Even if you just have, just a little shot full, take it. That's what it's for. So with my little bit, I'm going to put in one of my 8-ounce jars just to make sure that I'm not wasting it. Look at that. I have another 8 ounces. I didn't clean the lid, so I'll have to clean the lid, but there's another 8 ounce. This is elderberry, and I'm always asked, what is elderberry for? Well, elderberry is known to boost your immune system. So, all of the herbs in here, the elderberry, the lemon, the ginger, the cinnamon, and clove, are all good for your immune system, your chest congestion, sore throat, things like that. When you get the crud, this is what I take when our family gets the crud. Alright, so you have created elderberry today. or I have created elderberry today. Now you have the instructions how to do it yourself. Alright, so we have a jar of elderberry. And what I like using elderberry for is immune boosting. That's what it's known for. And also the lemon, the ginger, the cinnamon, the clove. They are all good for your immune system, for chest congestion, for sore throat. Oh, and also the honey. It is good for sore throats as well. And the honey acts as a preservative. I don't recall if I actually said that or cut it out or whatever. So I'm saying it now. Honey acts as a preservative. Though, since we did not seal the top of this jar, we need to put it in the fridge. And my jars have lasted 90 days, is as long as I've had it, but we use our elderberry. So a jar this size should be able to easily be used in a month, even if it's a single person. But I failed to mention one more thing that we do whenever we work with herbs. Anytime we put an herb or a herbal remedy or whatever in a jar, what do? We label it. Whatever, you need to make sure you know what is inside. I don't know how many things I've had to throw out because I wasn't sure what was inside it. So I'm trying to save you. Alright, well, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Comment below and stay healthy. Alright.